Howdy! Welcome to the end of the year. I made hot chocolate for you, though you can only have it if you'll forgive me for not doing an end of the year compilation video this time around. The reasons for that are pretty simple. In short, I wanted to enjoy the holiday with my friends and family, and in the past putting a ton of effort into the year-end video kind of stopped me from doing that. On top of that, and tragically, the videos don't really do that well, despite it taking like twice the effort of a normal video, and I thought my time might be better used to put into like the Christmas video being nearly 20 minutes long, which, by the way, super happy with how that turned out. Absolutely terrified where that might go. The third reason is the actual reason, and is that I managed to start playing like 3 separate addicting games at the same time. So when I said I was spending time with friends and family, what I really meant to say is I'm spending time with Balatro. Fun game, by the way. Also, if it's not super obvious, this is going to be a super chill kind of update Q&A video. So if you're looking to like chill out with me for like 20 minutes, I'm your guy. I got the hot chocolate. I'm gonna hold that hostage until the end of the video. I also got a bunch of questions you guys sent in, including the accusation of me being a federal agent at one point. So that will be covered. Just give me a minute to go through some cool stuff. Now I just got to remember what I was going to talk about. You got to forgive me because yesterday was Christmas. So this is the day after Christmas and I just remembered. Streaming. So if you guys notice, I streamed a lot more than I normally did this year, which was a ton of fun. Though that being said, I always had to focus a stream on something that I knew would do well. For example, like Lethal Company or Helldivers, just because unfortunately on YouTube, you kind of have to maintain momentum, and even live streams that do bad can kind of affect that, unfortunately. That being said, I'm very interested in making live streams that are bad. And what I mean by that is not necessarily, they're not fun streams to watch, but maybe ones that wouldn't do fantastic on YouTube. I'm talking about like sitting around being dumb for like 3 hours straight playing Heroes of Hammerwatch. I really want a stream environment where I get to chill out and talk with people more. So I thought that might be the way to do it, and I'm thinking about doing that on Twitch. That's not really a statement that I think Twitch is better to stream on than YouTube. It's more saying that I want them separated, if that makes any sense at all. Anyway, I'm expecting them to be super cozy, small live streams, because I'm not even partnered on Twitch. So if you're interested in being part of that, link in the description. Also, I just checked my Twitch. If you found a channel that looks like an absolute desolate wasteland, you are in the right place. At some point, I might update the about section. Who knows? The next thing I wanted to talk about was actually like brand deals and advertisements on the channel for this coming year. I don't know if you guys saw it, but that whole thing with Honey is very funny to me. The amount of money Honey offers creators was insane. I never took it because I couldn't really understand the business proposition. I'm glad I didn't. I'm not gonna act like I was soothsaying and I could tell that they were actually evil. I think the only person that can actually claim that is Markiplier, and if you haven't seen it, he has a video from like 4 years ago where he's ranted about how Honey is like the Antichrist. It's very funny. That being said, I am still very overly picky on the advertisers I pick, and this has kind of reinforced why. It stresses me out that I could pick someone that is evil. So next year, the only ones I can guarantee is Gamersubs, because they are awesome to work with. They help creators, and I think their product is amazing. And Factor, because everyone seemed to like that, and I do believe that they deliver kind of nutritional packages of food. Speaking on the Gamersubs stuff, I had a content creator epiphany with everyone getting their Gamersubs cup. It was like a mentally changing moment. For good or bad, yet to be known. But for the people that did get the Ignis Gamersubs cup, a lot of them were delivered before Christmas, and I was just flooded with hundreds of pictures of people with this cup, of the design that Quail, one of my best friends, drew. And it was, I can't describe the emotion. It was good. I'm sure retrospectively I'll have a word for it in like 2 months, but I can't thank you guys enough. It really anchored in me how truly fortunate of a position I'm in, and that it is very important that I never take it for granted. I really hope that I continue to make fun stuff. And on the Gamersubs topic as well, that actually went so well, and they were so happy with it that we're going to be doing it again, hopefully with a merch add-on that I've been trying to get done for so long. So you will be the first to know if it ends up happening. All right, with that out of the way, let's get to some questions you guys sent in, which were all very fun. The first one I had is, how many people have you had to describe your YouTube/Arma career to IRL? How awkward is it? The short answer is many and very. The longer answer is, at one point I had to describe what I did for work to my dentist while they had sharp objects in my mouth, which is stereotypical, I know, but it was a very terrible experience. That being said, they were very supportive of it after they could tell what I was trying to say while they were in the middle of stabbing the inside of my mouth. The next question I had is, what drugs are you on? And the answer is caffeine. Next question. Oh, this next question was the fun one. What, if anything, can you tell us about your previous job as a spook for the government? So, in truth, Not that much. I held a TS-SCI with one of the 3-letter agencies under the Department of Defense. I can't say literally anything I did there, but it was an amazing experience. I met some of the smartest people I'll probably ever meet in my life, and I was there for like 5 years, which might make me sound old, but I'm only 25. I left this job recently. So as you might guess, being semi-popular on the internet and working at a place like this wasn't very conducive. I know specifically, we did something called SecFin, where essentially you have to give all your financials down to the last penny. And they kept seeing all this money coming from like gamer subs and YouTube. And it was like, that's a lot of money coming from someone that isn't us. So that makes us uncomfortable. They were very nice about it, but I did get the feeling that it was either, stop doing YouTube or resign from my position. And I chose the latter because my passion was way more into creating funny content. But for sure, one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life, but I think I made the right one. The next question is, has the work side, editing, uploading, basically the YouTube side, impacted the fun side of gaming? Is there moments where it's become a chore? For sure. If you do anything to a work capacity, there will be times where you don't feel like doing something, especially editing. That being said, I'm thankful that I have the lens of having worked other jobs, because I can tell how fortunate I am to have this. It is a lot of work. Sometimes I will put in like 60 hours into quote unquote YouTube work. But it is way less soul crushing than a lot of other jobs, so I'm not going to complain. The next one is, RUBIX, what is your game of the year? Lovely question, because I get to gush about how awesome this year was for gaming. Same with last year. I've been having so much fun. It has been devastating to my work schedule because simply I'd like to play a lot of games and I don't have the time to. If I had to pick one, it's going to come to no surprise to anyone that I'm going to say Helldivers 2. Helldivers 1 was one of my favorite games ever. And to be able to play 2, which was such a increase in quality in every avenue of the game, it's incredible. They had a bunch of rough patches throughout the year. I feel like a lot of them were addressed, and I'm hoping for a wonderful future for the game. I'm very, 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 very happy with it. Next question is, has Bohemia ever reached out to you and asked if you want to do a collaboration of some kind? Unfortunately not. I have reached out to them and asked if they want to do stuff for like Reforger and whatnot. But I always kind of got the cold shoulder. They have done a bunch of stuff with other creators, but I might just not be the brand of content they really want to support, which is completely fine. I'm a bit sad about it, but no hard feelings. Next is, my only question is, Jay, last year you stated that your favorite faction in 40k is Tyranids. Would you ever start a Tyranid tabletop army? I do have a few Tyranid models. That being said, I have pivoted and transitioned towards making a Votann army because I really like their aesthetic. Dwarves, that's it. That's my whole argument. I had a bunch of friends over for my local Renaissance fair and we played a bunch of Warhammer tabletop battles and they were just so fun. So I'm going to continue to build that army. Hopefully they get enough units to make an effective tabletop set. I went against Quail, who has a knight army. It was so fun. Next one, what is your favorite kind of hamburger? Yes, this is important. This is gonna be a weird story, but at one point I was hiking Mount Hood and a fucking blizzard hit. And I found like this ski tavern, like mini resort place, and they had a restaurant in it. And they served this blue cheese bacon burger, which is the best burger I have ever had. And it was in the middle of just this complete whiteout outside with like hot chocolate, French fries, and this cheeseburger. It was so good, and now I peaked on hamburgers, so I can't truly ever enjoy them again. It's actually a terrible curse. Actually, as we're winding down this Q&A, I'm gonna give you your hot chocolate now before I forget, because that would be catastrophic. Here you go. Imagine drinking that. It tastes great. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this the last question so I can get back to my cocaine hell game known as Balatro. Hey Rubix, why don't you make VODs for some of your Ignis ops? Simply put, there is so much downtime and broken parts of Arma, the VODs would be terrible. Maybe if I had streamed them and was making content with the prospect of, oh, every second has to be entertaining, they might be more salvageable. I also would really not like to stream Arma. It seems like such a bad game to stream with how often it breaks and again, how much downtime you can truly have in that game. I'm not saying I'll never do it, but it's unlikely. I know just in the Christmas up, when the Mega Bomb drops and kills everyone there, that hard crashed our server and we are out of commission for like 10 minutes as I was desperately trying to get it back online. In the video, it looks a lot better and seamless, but VODs would just be terrible and I just don't feel comfortable putting out content that's not good. I know some people would enjoy it regardless, I'm sure, It's just not something I want to make. So turns out I lied. This is the actual last question. What other genres of video games are you into? I am absolutely addicted to fantasy roguelikes, which is unfortunate considering that is a far-flung genre from what I do on this YouTube channel, but I play the hell out of them. Last year, we actually played a VR roguelike dungeon diver that ended up turning into a saga of losing members of our party one by one until I was all alone fighting this hellish demon boss at the end. I have it recorded. It might be a video at some point. I don't think it would do well, but it would be really fun to make, so it'll probably happen. Alrighty, that wraps it up. If you have another question, or you already had a question that I didn't answer, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll try to answer a bunch of them. I think it might be something fun to do. I can't thank you enough, guys, for such a wonderful year, and I cannot wait for next year. I'm also very proud of you. You guys got a lot deeper on the Q&A iceberg, though there are questions that remain. I also have to pass on a massive thank you to my patrons this year. Once again, it grew a bunch, and this money really helps me stress a lot less about taking time to make good videos. Like, the Patreon is the main reason I made it like an hour-and-a-half long video essay on Arma, because I didn't have to deal with that stress. Which, by the way, I never shouted out, but just for $5, you get videos early and some chats where you can ask me questions or get sneak peeks on projects that I'm working on. With that said, it is perfectly fine to enjoy the videos free on YouTube. No pressure at all to support me there, but the idea keeps coming back to me that people like donate on a live stream and don't really get anything back for it. This is a great place that if you do want to donate money, I do have an ability to return some value back to you. So again, thank you for all the people that have been longtime members of that. Massive thank you. It is a huge help, and a lot of that money goes back into the channel in one form or another. Like, I got a new microphone finally. Don't know when I'll set that up, but if I suddenly sound different one day, that is why. I hope everyone the best of luck with the coming year, and I will see you around.